Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations for all of the amazing chapters around BNI Arizona, and every single week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education for watching. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's edition of Wisdom Wednesday. We definitely have a special edition for you today because it's not just going to be me. I actually have a whole team of brand new directors that I'm going to be tying into this week's edition to give you some great tips. But before we jump into those topics, I wanted to remind you guys that we still are in Friendsgiving mode. So make sure that you are submitting your donations to the nonprofits, and make sure that you're also submitting the referral. So how it works is you'll scan the QR code on the nonprofit document to submit your donation. Then you're going to submit the referral over to that nonprofit and list in the referral how much your donation was, so that way they can then submit the thank you for closed business. So you want to make sure that whole process happens. And then in addition to that, we are still collecting the BNI Who You Are BNI Thankful For certificates. So make sure to email them over to me. Both of the documents are listed on this BNI Arizona official group page, so make sure to go into the file section to check out both of those documents. We're going to be running that whole Friendsgiving program for the rest of this month. I know we have Thanksgiving next week, so make sure to stay tuned for the Thanksgiving edition of Wisdom Wednesday. But please make sure to send me those certificates. We're going to keep posting them all month long. I already got dozens of certificates already submitted, and Shay, our amazing executive assistant, is already posting them on the BNI page. So I appreciate all of you for sending in your submissions. So today we have a brand new director team. We're actually in the middle of our 3-day new director training, and we went over some myth-busting topics, and I did go over some of these in a past Wisdom Wednesday, but I think it's going to be a great refresher. And each one of our brand new directors is going to share one of those myth-busting topics for you guys as a refresher. So first up on the list is Dagan Roberts from the BNI Apex chapter. He is one of our brand new directors, and he's going to be sharing a great little nugget for you today. So what you got today?
Good afternoon, BNI. So the myth that I am busting today is relative to a transfer process from chapter to chapter. This is something I've personally experienced, so I know it very well. So in short, there is a formal transfer process, but with that process, it basically entails that to make sure that you formally resign from your prior chapter and then reapply to your new chapter. Obviously, once you're reapplying, you have to go through the application process itself, the interviews and all that good stuff to make sure that's still going to be a good fit for everybody. And that's just kind of the myth that I wanted to bust today. There are some specifics to that situation to situation, but you can dive into those as they arise.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much, Dagan. Yes, it is definitely a process. Nothing is automatic when it comes to the transfer process, and that is sometimes a risk you have to take when you're going through that transition, because you have to resign and then you have to apply, go through the new member interview process just like everyone else. So it's not just a move over to another chapter. So next up, we have John Bradley from BNI Integrity, who's going to share with you our next little nugget.
Good afternoon, BNI Arizona. The myth that I'm busting is that there are a good amount of professionals within our chapters that have to take continuing education for their license or for their profession. So the myth that we're busting here is that, can you log continuing education that is required for your profession as a chapter education unit? The answer is no. You are expected to do your continuing education within your profession in order to have a job. That is completely separate from doing chapter education units, bettering your networking skills, and making sure that you're developing your business. Now, something I learned new that is beneficial for my chapter is that you can also log chapter education units if you're reading a personal or business development book, because again, that's bettering your networking skills, that's bettering your business, that's also bettering yourself. So you cannot log continuing education required for your profession as a CEU, but if you are developing your network, your business, or yourself, that is a chapter education unit, since you're benefiting yourself in the chapter. Thank you for tuning in. pass it back to you.
All right, perfect. Thank you, John. Yes, it's all about chapter education. It's not continuing education. That is always a great reminder because I always get questions on that specific topic. Next up is Dylan from BNI Next Level chapter.
Well, thank you, Kristen, long-time listener, first-time caller. So today I'm going to talk about something that comes up a lot, especially in my chapter, and that's what exactly is a one-to-one? Is that just when we're getting together for tacos on Tuesday, or maybe we're going to the gym together? And I would argue no, it's really about intentionality. Are we getting together with the intention of helping grow each other's business or getting to know each other on a level that'll help us grow our businesses? Now that can mean if your chapter's having an event, like we had a picnic a couple of weeks ago, that can absolutely be a one-to-one, but it always comes down to, are you being intentional with the conversations that you're having? Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dylan. Appreciate your feedback today and today's Wisdom Wednesday. And next up, we have Brandon Harwood from BNI Legends chapter to give us our next education topic.
I'm going to ask.
Oh, he's too tall for the video.
Dylan stole my opening line, you guys. Hey, my name is Brandon Harwood, and today I want to talk about your 10-minute feature presentation. And the question is, should there be questions after your 10-minute feature presentation?
Ooh, that's a good one.
No, you should not open it up for questions. It's a good opportunity to encourage people to schedule a one-to-one with you. However, there are some things you can do within your 10 minutes if you want to do certain things like have a couple testimonials prepared where people can share about your business, things that you plan ahead of time, not something you want to have on the fly. Those can go really long, those can go really sideways, so on and so forth. If you want to learn more about what makes a great feature presentation, go on BNI Business Builder and search Manage Feature Presentations. It's a great one. I took it myself, and there's a bunch of tools to help you prepare 12 weeks in advance. Or you can also listen to all the wonderful podcasts. Search the word feature presentation on bnipodcast.com, and you'll hear a bunch of them, and they always bring on special guests, and there's some really fun ways to make your feature presentation more engaging. So that is, yes, no questions after the 10-minute feature presentation. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yes, I totally agree, Brandon. Just don't do it. Just say no. Because sometimes it can expand your 10-minute presentation another 5, 10, 15 minutes, and that will make the entire meeting run long. So we want to be respectful of everyone's time and just say no. Don't answer questions. Save them for one-to-ones. It's really, really important that we keep the meeting on time. All right, next up is Eric Jackson from BNI Titans chapter.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
The myth I want to bust today, and you may not know what the L in Palms Report stands for. It's not legacy. It's not leverage. It's not making lemonade out of lemons.
Oh, I thought that was it.
Right? No. The L in the Palms Report is for late or leaving early, and you want to be in attendance for the full 90 minutes. This does touch on one of my favorite core values, which is accountability. You want to be accountable as well as visible, credible, and profitable in the group. It all starts with being accountable and showing up for the entire agenda and being present for your members and to be available to them and to visitors and to be there start to finish.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate that. Yes. And just to let you guys know, the L in the Palms Report also deducts points on the Power of One. So we always want to be present. We want to be there for the full 90 minutes of the meeting. It's really important to build that positive visibility and credibility for you and your business. Next up, we have Roberto from BNI Alianza's chapter, our only Spanish-speaking chapter right now. But we're bringing him on board to start the second Spanish-speaking chapter,
yes,
right?
we are.
Are you going to do your tip in Spanish?
Oh yeah, I should. My tip in Spanish is, you know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Oh, okay, all right.
So when does the date of a membership start?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Yes.
Some people think it's the date that a new member is inducted,
Yep.
but
Right? But it's not.
it's not.
It's
It's
actually
not.
the date of the application.
Yes,
This is why it's important for the membership committee to process the application within 2 weeks.
that is correct.
Is there any exception?
No exception.
No exception.
No
There you go.
exception. No
That's
exception.
it. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
Awesome. Yes, it's super important that membership committees are processing applications in a timely manner because a new member's start date is the date of the application, not the date that they are approved, not the date that they are inducted. And it does list in the application details that if the application is dated between the 1st and the 15th of the month, their renewal date is the 1st of that month. If their application date is the 16th through the end of the month, their renewal date is automatically 1st of the following month. So it does share that in the details of the application. Not that anyone reads it, but it is in there, I promise. I have read it. All right, and last but not least, I believe, our last director on our list is Miss Shantoya Thomas in the BNI Fanatics chapter.
So, speaking of membership committees, a very, very important role within our chapters. But the myth, or not, is the VP is the tiebreaker of the membership committee. So we know how we all want those new members joining, and there's an even number in the membership committee. So that VP has a very important seat. So we think when it comes to membership. So that is actually false. The membership committee, or the vice president, is a part of the membership committee and votes like everyone else. So that makes an odd number, but not the tiebreaker. So that is very important to know. So no bribing the VP of your chapters. We're going to process every application with dignity, with the same amount of intensity, to make sure every member in your chapter is the right fit for your chapter.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shantoya. Yes, that is so important, and I would say that is one of the biggest questions that I get asked throughout the year. And vice presidents just assume that because they are the odd person, that they're automatically, they only vote if they're the tiebreaker, and that is not the case, guys. You always want to make sure vice president is voting in the mix with the rest of the membership committee. That way they are the odd number vote, but again, with all voting, with membership committee and the VP, majority vote rules. So if you have any questions about any of our myth-busting topics today, just let me know. Make sure to connect with all of our amazing new directors that we've added onto our director team. Super excited to expand our director team with these amazing professionals. I'm sure you will see them around at different chapters and different visits as you go around, or even if you visit their chapter as well. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Wisdom Wednesday, and remember to record one chapter education unit for watching. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next week.